Hey everyone, Happy New Year! Welcome to my new channel, Caffeinated Positivity. I am starting this channel because I am not the most positive person, but I want to become more positive. And this is one way that is going to make me more accountable for keeping myself in check and positive throughout the year. So this is one of my resolutions for this year, is to put out more videos, more content about budgeting, maybe take you guys through the wedding planning that I'm going to be doing this year, cooking on a budget, and all kinds of things really that kind of just is my lifestyle right now. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I've actually been getting a lot of questions. How have you guys paid off $83,000 in 18 months? Okay, we finally became debt-free in 2018, back in December. And so what I want to do this year is be very, very diligent with the budget. The reason I want to be diligent and very precise this year is because we've got a lot of goals. We want to plan our wedding. We want to plan our honeymoon, and we're going to do it paying cash. No more loans, no more even thinking that's a possibility for us, because we're going to do it. We're going to save and just keep ourselves within our means. So one of the ways that we're going to do that this year is by following the envelope system diligently. And the reason I want to do this is because when we very first started out doing our budgeting so that we could pay off our debt, I was getting very close to what we actually put in our food budget. And ever since I stopped doing the envelope system, I kept going over and I kept going over. But this year, no more. I'm going to stick to our goal. I'm going to stick to what we have in each envelope and try to figure out what that means, what we've got to do to make that work. So what I'm going to show you guys is a little bit of our budget, and I'm going to do some cash stuffing in the envelopes so that you can see basically how I'm going to organize them and basically how much money we're working with. So before I get into what our budget is going to be and stuffing the cash into the envelopes, our goals this year, and the whole reason that we're doing this, is the wedding, the honeymoon, and saving for baby step 3, which will be a fully funded emergency fund. So currently we have baby step 1 done, which is saving $1,000 in an emergency fund. And now baby step 2 is done and we are debt free. So now baby step 3, which will come after the wedding and after the honeymoon, is funded. We will be saving 3 to 6 months of our monthly expenses. We're going to aim for 6 though. So your monthly expenses isn't how much money is coming in throughout the month, but basically what you are spending on your necessities. So your rent, electric, all that stuff, your food, anything that is necessary. If something really good happens this year and we're able to achieve all of those goals, we'll go right into baby step 3B, and Dave Ramsey recommends to start saving for a down payment for a home. So that would be the ultimate goal for 2019, and if we can get there, woo! But I'm just going to put it in my mind that that's what's going to happen. So for anyone asking how you can start saving more or getting to accomplish the goals that you really want to get to, budgeting is a really good resource. A lot of people see it as something that is restricting you, but it's restricting you so that you can achieve your goals, is how I'm seeing it. So back in 2016, I started traveling less. I started spending more money on clothing, filling my apartment with decorations and pillows and all the kinds of things that are just not really what I cared about truly. And so after starting to look at why I couldn't afford certain things, I looked at my expenses and saw that I was spending on a whole lot of things that I didn't care to really have. But I noticed that I wasn't able to travel any. I wasn't able to afford any expenses that weren't planned for, any sort of emergencies. I did not have any money to even think about maybe fixing our car. So last month our car needed a $1,200 repair, and before starting to budget, before even paying attention to our finances, we would not have had the money to fix that, and we would have been out of car. We would probably just sell it and then lose a whole bunch of money because it needed such an expensive repair. So this has really changed our lives, and it feels like we are secure and we have the feeling of freedom because we're not bound to making these payments on a car, to making payments on a credit card for things that we had bought months and months ago. So I encourage anybody who is kind of in that same situation, try this. You'll be surprised with how great it feels to be able to accomplish things that you can afford, like maybe your energy bill going up, anything like that. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and get started with showing you a little bit of the budget, and then we'll jump right into stuffing the envelopes. This is how we create our budget. Typically, we do it in the app EveryDollar, or we do it on paper. So if we do it on paper, we start out with rent. We still don't have a house yet, so it is rent, and it's $625. We have electricity, which, being that it is January, it is cold. Our electric bill is probably going to be around $120. We don't have gas, so it is all electric. So these are the only things that we pay for utilities, is electric. And then we also have internet. Our internet is $54.99 a month. We got a really good deal on that. Our food, we budget, technically with groceries, we try to budget $300. And then with restaurants, $50. Now that we're trying to be very diligent with our expenses, I'm going to try to do mainly groceries, and if we have anything left over, we might treat ourselves at the end of the month. We have toiletries, which we do $50 a month. Brandon and I both have personal funds each, so we put $50 in each of them, so $100 total. We have a recreation fund. We try to do cheap dates or just have a $10 a week budget so that we can enjoy a night out with friends. So it's $40 a month. We have a clothing, which isn't really for clothes. We do our laundry here, and that's also $50 a month. And we take that to the laundromat. And then we finally have gas. So with our jobs, we have to drive a lot, so we do $110 a month. And then the rest is going into savings. So savings equals rest. So right now, with this amount, I'm just gonna add them all up. So our total expenses are $1,499.99, which is basically $1,500. So the ones that we will create an envelope for are food, toiletries, personal, recreation, clothing, and gas. These I'll pay online. In order to make sure that we stay on track, I'm going to divide it up into about 4 weeks. And so since we're starting on the 1st, and there are 5 Tuesdays in this month, I'm going to basically stuff the envelopes every 8 days instead of every 7. So in order to do that, we've got food envelope. We'll get $88 every week. So I already went to the bank to get all of the change, and in each envelope I have put a little sticky note that will show the schedule of how much is going in and when. So on the 1st, the 9th, the 17th, and the 25th is when I will be stuffing the envelopes. Now, another way that you can do it so they don't have change is you can do maybe 13, 12, 13, 12, but I'm just going to do it with change just so that it's even every time. I might change this in the future. So let's go ahead and get 12.50. And I've got my coins here. And I think what I will do is also keep track of anything that I use with this by keeping the receipts in here and maybe an additional sticky note that shows how much should be left. Or I might keep it in my every dollar. I haven't decided yet. So with these four, they all get $50 a month. So it's all going to be $12.50 each week. So let me go ahead and do that now. Here's my sticky note. So for the clothing fund, it's going to be for the laundromat, so I'm not really concerned about having an envelope for it, but I might as well just for the effect. We have a laundromat that actually has the pay range and you can do it from your phone, but this way we make sure that we don't go over on it at all. So we've got our roll of quarters, so that's $10. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Again, I've got my little schedule in there, but I might have to change that for the future, but for now, this is what we'll do. Next, we have gas. So on gas, I'll just interchange it so that I don't carry coins. I'll do $28 on the 1st, which is today, and then $27 on the 9th. Money, 20, 25, 26. I'm doing the same thing with food where I'm interchanging instead of having the coins. So first it will be $88 and then on the 9th, $87. For the most difficult one for us to follow, because this is typically where friends will invite us out or we want to go on a nice date, but this is where we really have to be restrictive and creative, really. We need to find cheap dates, we need to have things more at our own home instead of going out, but it ends up being well worth us restricting ourselves because we end up spending more time at home with friends instead of going out. So $40 a month, so $10 a week. Got our schedule. So one that I really wanted to talk to you guys about, because it's been the hardest for me not to go over, is food. And a lot of people think that once you're budgeting, you can't have good food, or you're only eating beans and rice, which in my case is somewhat true, but we do also eat pretty well other than that. So in order to make sure that we are not going over the budget and that we're using everything that we already have in our apartment, we've added all of the ingredients to supercook.com, which is this is not sponsored, but it allows you to find recipes based off of the ingredients you already have, or build a shopping list that will allow you to do so many recipes by giving suggestions based off the ingredients you already have. So one thing that we're going to try to do this year is use that more often and keep it updated so that we do not let anything go to waste, because that is one of the most important things. For budgeting in general, the main thing is be aware. Be aware of what you're doing it for. Be aware of the sacrifices that you're making, but also what you're going to do because of those sacrifices. And I hope that you have good friends that are understanding and encouraging to do something like this, because it really is worth it. And I'm going to show you guys more things that we're doing because of this. So I hope you are along for the journey with us, and we will talk to you in a week. If you like this video, give us a like, and if you love it, go ahead and subscribe. And please help me be an accountability partner. Please help me be more positive. Give me words of encouragement if you'd like. And let's do this. Let's conquer 2019.